Dave Mahagus, Father over Ish Tranona. Welcome here again. Tommy the Kite Miller Clar, Kid Clarna Belt in a Ravilis of Fe, Vega Relic, Radian Gertuchte, Erishachtachlog, Dehine, Maravian, Gachine and V. We're talking, I'm introducing the various bits of music we're going to have on the first programme in May 2020, this week. It's always broadcast on Radio Gertuchte on Friday nights from 7 to 9, and you can get it on the internet also from Radio Gertuchte's site. All the connections are on my own website, which we'll talk about in a minute. So May is kind of a theme tonight, and a man I had a couple of weeks ago was Pádraig Mac Mahona from his wonderful album Blas na Mala, or The Taste of Honey. And the reason I chose that again this week was because he's a couple of tunes that are appropriate. Yesterday it lashed out of the heavens here, while the rest of the country basked in wonderful sunshine. So I have a couple of tunes. He had a tune there called An Lá Báistí and Bowden in the Beltana, The Day of the Rain and The Queen of the May. So I used that. And speaking of pipers, another piper I always play the first programme in May every year for the last 30 years has been Mick O'Brien. He has a wonderful tune called The May Morning Dew, which was played by other great pipers before him, Willie Clancy and Seamus Innes and people like that. It's a wonderful song, and he plays it on an album he called The May Morning Dew, which is on tonight as well. One of the singers tonight is Matty Joe Hamish of Faharta. He's a Connemara man, a piper in his spare time also, and he's singing tonight on the programme. He was a broadcaster during his professional career. So Matty Joe Hamish. With the theme of summer still in mind, I went back to the original version of Sour Sour, or Hugumar Féin and Souring, which was recorded, was first performed in 62 or 63 by Kyoto Richun and Sean O'Shea. They had a series of concept albums before there were concept albums. Rackrachtan really was the first one, which was kind of formal music of the Irish nation, the Gaelic nation, poetry and song and music. The second, with Darach O'Cahan as the singer from the Gaeltacht, great Darach. And then the second album was Ding Dong, which was the music of the people, both in Irish and English songs and musicians. They imaged a radio programme they had that time called Flashiola Radio, which included the Shanachie and Kelly from over the hill here, who would tell a story every night, once a week. And the third album in that series was Ceol na Nósal, which was the music of the big house. And in that my father pursued and went through, or introduced, if you like, reintroduced the 1792 collection of Bunting and all the music associated with that period, Petrie and Bunting and so on, and all the harpers that were left, O'Carolan being the famous one, of course. Mixed in there was this lovely song called Hugumar Féin and Souring, and Sean O'Shea. It's originally on an LP, but the three of them are put together by Gailing on this triple album collection, Play Rock and Riddick, and I've taken the version taking that track off those because my LP player is not working. Fiddle player that I have great time for is a young man called Aidan Connolly. His mother was from Sliabh up north from here. He brought out his first album, Be Off, a couple of years ago, and I think it's his best. He's several albums since, but I'm very fond of this album, Be Off. Aidan Connolly lives a lot of the time in Spain. An interesting thing that's on the programme tonight is the Gaelic psalm singers from Lewis. A couple of weeks ago I had the singers from Nova Scotia and Cape Breton and so on. They were doing the walking songs, and here they're doing the long psalms, and that's a curiosity. It's wonderful music. There's two psalms by them. Martin Hayes is a regular on this programme, and shortly before his father died, Martin recorded on a cassette, I think. He just spent an evening recording with himself and his father playing, not thinking that it would end up as an album, but it did. A great album, a wonderful album. He called it By the Shores of Loch Graney, and I think P. Joe Hayes was probably passed on by the time it was published, but they both coincided anyway. There's a group called Providence, and they have, they're a professional group, obviously a traditional music group, and they've been touring and recording and playing for many, many years. So they top and tail the programme tonight, Providence, of their third album. This is a very interesting collection of concertina players from Ireland and England. It's a triple album collection, 3D CD set. The Anglo International, it's called. And there are many, many concertina players from Ireland and from England on it. The English folk music has kind of started a deeper revival in the last 20 years, rather than just ballads and so on. They're kind of delving into it, and it's quite recognisable that you can see their individual or culture style coming back again. And once the centre of London begins to disintegrate a bit more, I think as London dwindles, the English individual culture, I think the actual indigenous culture will come to the fore. So that's the Anglo Concertina. John Spillane brought out a CD a couple of years ago, children's schools going back to school and so on, and there's two of those on tonight because I think it's appropriate, as a lot of children are stuck at home during this COVID lockdown period. And another singer is Padagani Hulahan. She has lots of different CDs out. This one is called Kyoto Irila, which is the north-eastern region of the island. Very individualistic tradition, and she has a nice song. And a singer from the opposite side then, from the Donegal area, Shosha Doherty, who regularly brings out albums with his own songs on them. There's two of his tonight, which gives that kind of Irish singing but in a more modern style. I just wanted to show you what, when you go to these are the records for each programme here, all the different tracks, and the website for the different artists are on it. And if you go to my website here and you go underneath the posts here, if you click a post, you'll see the post for that week, that programme. And in that there are the links for the logs, and also there's the link for the live broadcast. So you'll be able to click, and in the Radio Guide, the RT Radio Guide site, there's up to 6 weeks programmes at any one time there. And of course, if you were seeing this and you're not already a patron, I'd be very grateful if you became a patron of mine. It's kind of the way that allows me to do lots of other stuff. Cur maith agaibh, slán beo.